Welcome to T-Prep Talk. We're going to hear my story. You're going to hear my guest's story. It's going to help make your story. And today we have... Welcome to T-Prep Talk. We're going to hear my story. You're going to hear my guest's story. It's going to help make your story. And I'm your host, Barbell Honcho, and also owner of T-Prep Gym. If you're new to the show, T-Prep Talk is the conversation behind T-Prep Gym. And I'd like to challenge you to think innovatively, creative, and also adaptive. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's story is unique, but you can also learn from others. And today we have JT McNabb. He's a father, weightlifter, man of accumulative stories, and probably one of the coolest guys I've met.
I appreciate that.
And JT, what's the life updates?
Life updates. That was an out of the blue question.
What's going on?
Nothing really, man. Family in town this week, so been busy running, eating, enjoying the town.
Enjoying the town.
So it's been a good week, but right now, man, it's all about the gym, like every day.
Yeah.
I've been grinding, bro. 9 years out of the gym. So just a little bit of backstory, I guess I'll throw it out there quick.
Yeah.
I had cardiac heart failure 9 years ago, and doctor put me on a bunch of restrictions. To me, was basically saying you can't go to the gym. So it's like I could go.
Yeah.
But I'm not one to do. I'm all in or all out. So if I can't go and give it my all, if I can't push everything I can push, then I'm wasting my time. Yeah. And so I felt taken away. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so for 9 years, I stayed away.
Well, it's good to have you back, but we're definitely going to get into that.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get there, bro.
But first, I want to talk about the whiskey.
Let's get there.
Whiskey in.
Yeah.
So right now, this is the first pour that he's done.
Yep. This is still Austin, which is this bottle.
Let's show it to which camera we're going to show it to.
You can show it to this. So this is still Austin. It's out of Austin, Texas. It's only aged 2 years. It's the Musician. And it's just a good sipper. Nothing crazy, but it's good.
Okay. It's good sipper. So this is your... So out of your top 5 of this collection here, this is your 5th.
In my opinion, we're gonna start at 5. Yeah, that's 5 sitting on the table.
All right. So I'm gonna try it.
Let's see what we got here.
See what.
Oh, you didn't smell it, bro.
Oh, my bad. Let me restart. So I gotta smell it.
Get you a smell.
That's what I did earlier.
Yeah.
Do I gotta whoosh it around a little bit?
Yeah, you do that, and that's why I wish I could have found you another Glencairn. Because you get like smell the difference coming out of this glass versus your glass.
Yeah. So this one's shaped like a distilled.
Oh, can I?
Yeah. Like see the difference in what you smell out of an open glass versus the Glencairn. So it's fluted like that. It kind of brings those notes to your nose a little better, a little easier.
Yeah. Actually, I noticed.
You get a little sweetness on the nose. And,
I smell the sweetness.
You start to open up your palate with it.
Because it's a little harsher on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's smooth. It tastes smooth. A little bit of a burn, but not too bad. You can definitely sip on this one.
But what do you taste?
It tastes alcohol.
See, that's what most people drink for.
Okay.
That's what it's about. We're looking for the notes. Sorry, I bumped the mic. We're looking for the notes.
I really think about it.
All right, so
really think about it. It's a little sweet. I can see that.
I get a little vanilla, and I get a little leather.
Yo, I might have had COVID or something.
You get a little bit of leather? So here's what I mean by that. So if you walk into a saddle shop, you ever walked into a saddle shop?
Yes.
So you know the smell,
leather,
that leather. You can't miss it, right?
Yeah.
If you think on it, to me, I'm not going to tell you. I ain't even looked up the flavor profile on these. I taste them for what I'm tasting. You know what I mean? Like I don't worry about what it says I'm supposed to taste because I don't always get it. I'm no professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We say connoisseur.
That's what I call myself. You know what I mean? But I get leather on the back end, and it starts with a little bit of vanilla, just a little sweet. But it finishes super smooth. Like I don't get a whole lot of extra flavor on the end of it. It's just smooth. You know, you just keep that little bit of sweetness in your mouth.
Yeah. That's the little bit of sweetness.
Yeah, that's the little bit of vanilla that I'm talking about. You just kind of let that go in your mouth.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely sip on this one because I don't.
Oh, they get better from here.
Yeah, the next one I'm gonna start maybe this one is a good starter to start the palate. Get me warmed up, and I might taste.
This is harder because it's a little hotter.
Okay.
So this is only 100 proof. It's actually I think 49%. I just read it a while ago so I could say it. Now I lost it. But anyway, it's 49.6% alcohol by volume.
You got me. That's a big pour, man. I'm be lit. I'm be lit midway.
We can go. Well, we can make the pour smaller. Mine's a little bigger than I meant to pour, to be honest. But
you got to ride home though, so we're good. All right. So, then now on this bottle, on this cup here, it says Crown Royal. So, for the general public, the most popular whiskeys that can come to mind is Crown Royal, Jack Daniels, and Jim Beam.
Why?
That's what I see everywhere.
Yeah, but why are those the most popular?
People to get drunk.
Cheaper?
Nah, I guarantee you, I've got 3 on this table that are in the same price range as Crown Royal. Because that's what you see.
Okay.
They're popular because they're in your face.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Crown Royal is. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to go with that because I know it's good. Everybody tells me it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's the first thing you do with it when you get home?
Mix it.
You
Yeah.
pour it with 7-Up, or you pour it with Sprite, or you pour it with Dr. Pepper, you know,
Yeah.
Coke, whatever. You mix it with something because it ain't that good. You want to hide it.
Yeah.
Now, if you take Crown Royal, I'll be honest, and you chill the hell out of it, it's not as bad. It's much smoother, but it still don't taste as good in my
So
opinion.
chill's like putting it in the freezer or something.
You take it and you pour it on ice, put it in a shaker and shake
Yeah.
it. The ice will chill it to where it's like it came straight out of the freezer.
Okay.
And then slow pour it in it. To me, it makes it much smoother
Mm-hmm.
to drink it straight that way. I just don't like mixing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get the leather nose.
You're finding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you
I just-
look
I just
for it,
never
when you
tasted
really
leather, bro.
think about it and you look for the notes,
Yeah.
that's what I love about sipping whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I quit drinking to get drunk. Like, I don't even care about it getting a buzz anymore. You know, I was saying that earlier.
Yeah.
Like, a buzz don't matter to me anymore. I enjoy, this is like, I'm trying to think of eating candy. You know what I mean? And you're like, is this candy any good? I don't know. I got to try it. You know, and you just try a little bit and you either like it or you don't, but you don't have to eat the whole daggone package every time you open it. It's just to try it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Of it. Yeah.
It's like, what was the Lay's potato chips put out like the this or that, and you had all the different ones that you had to try and then vote for them, and that was going to be the new flavor.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, where you're trying them just to try to make a selection of what you
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of learned in your palate, you know.
Okay, so you have not. So if you were gonna go and recommend anybody to drink whiskey, you would not recommend Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, or Crown Royal.
No,
Okay, you would
not
give
unless
something.
their intention is to go mix it and get drunk.
Okay. So
Like
that's
if you're
just-
going out and you're just wanting to get drunk and you're wanting
Yeah.
to have a great night, and you're going to mix it up and you're going to mix a bunch of sugar into it, man, get after it.
That's the famous combos, Jack and Coke.
Yeah,
or
for
Crown
sure.
and Coke, something like that.
Crown and
Something-
7-Up was always my go-to for
Crown and
years.
7-Up.
Yeah,
I haven't tried that one.
yeah. Before I got big into really
Yeah.
trying to understand my palate and wanting to find all the notes and enjoy whiskey.
Yeah.
When I was just drinking to drink, oh man, that was my go-to. Crown and 7-Up was my thing.
Well, this is the first one out of the 5 that we tried, and I wanted to actually get into that, what you were talking about at the beginning. So
Yeah.
you really, I would say, impacted me a little bit when you told me about you being out for 9 years, right?
Yeah.
9 years of lifting because you had a heart condition.
Right.
So before that heart condition, you actually were in pretty good shape.
I was 190 pounds. I was right at 6% body
Yeah.
fat, and was actually doing my best to push to be in it was a bodybuilding show in Fort Worth that was coming up, and it was a pro-am, and I forgot the name of it right now off the top of my head because it's been 9 years.
Yeah.
But my best friend and I, we were gym partners. We worked out every day together, and yeah, we were pushing hard, bro. We were trying to get there.
Okay, so you were pushing hard, you were exercising. I see some old pictures of you. You were
Yes, sir.
actually pretty cut up. You were pretty big, looking like you could compete for a bodybuilding show. And when was it during that process where you got the news, hey, this is going on with your heart?
No, that's where I was, bro. That's where I was. So I woke up one morning, got out of bed, my legs wouldn't hold me up no more.
Okay.
Like I literally collapsed on the floor. My legs were just super weak.
So just a random day you woke up and you
Yeah.
collapsed on the floor.
So there was little things that led up to it that I didn't process it.
Yeah.
I just didn't think about it. Like I was coaching my daughter's basketball team, right? Her little league basketball team at the
Okay.
time. I'm running wind sprints with the team every day. Like we're running up and down the court. You know, if they're running, I'm running. I want to be in better shape than I'm already in, so I'm running with them.
Yeah.
Well, we get to practice one day, and I'll never forget it because I didn't process it at the time. I processed it later, you know what I mean? But we ran down the court for that first wind sprint, man. We got to the other end, and I'm gassed. First wind sprint. I mean, I'm like leaning on the wall. I couldn't breathe. I'm like, bro, I've been doing this 3 days a week for, not to mention I'm in the gym every morning, and now I can't even run down to the court. Like, so it didn't make sense to me. But I'm like, man, it was something I ate today, or you know what I mean. I tried to. It's allergies. I don't know. I was blaming it on anything I could think of except that something's wrong with me. So there was little things that kind of built up that I didn't process. And then, that morning I woke up and I went down, and I didn't want to. I don't like going to the doctor, like at all. Like I avoid them like the plague.
I'm with you. I don't like going to the doctor.
So I didn't tell nobody. I don't even think I've ever told you this, but I didn't tell nobody. Like I got up and I did what I could, and I forced myself through. You know what I mean? Yeah. My wife's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Man, my knees are bothering me." And I was kind of walking. Not like I should,
See you walking, everything's okay.
Babe, I've laid tile for a long time. My knees are wore out. That's all it is. I'm good. And she didn't fully bite, but she let me off a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then I'm out mowing the yard, and I'm like holding back before I had a rod mower. I had a push mower, and I'm out there push mowing. Right? And I don't have a huge yard, but I've got a quarter of an acre. Yeah. I'm out there push mowing my yard, and man, it was like. And I'd make it a few steps, and I'd fall down and drag myself up back by the mower, and I'd go a little further, and I got through it, bro. Like I got the yard mowed.
Yes, sir.
But I like to have killed myself trying to get it done. So my wife, I forgot how it even came up. Long story short, she caught me. Yeah. And she's like, "You're going to the doctor." I'm like, "Maybe I don't need to go to the doctor. Like I'll be all right." She's like, "No, you're going to the doctor. Yeah. Like you're not right. Something's not right."
Okay.
Well, nobody tested my heart because. I didn't have no heart history. I've never had a heart problem. I've never had any issues with my heart.
No family history?
Yeah, none.
Okay.
And so, man, I went to a rheumatologist. I had every test done that you've ever imagined. I mean, at one point they had me laid on a table, and they've got this little hot shot thing down there, cattle prodding my freaking feet, trying to make my nerves jump. Wow. I mean, they're going crazy on me. And then they're like, "Well, everything worked right." I'm like, "I know. I felt it all." You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It worked. Yeah. The infectious disease doctor test for Lyme disease and all kinds of stuff. They sent me to a rheumatologist and others. I forgot what all. The rheumatologist actually made me get on the floor, and he said, "You have to get up on your own power."
Okay.
And let me tell you, when I got out of that floor, and I did stand up, but by the time I got out of the floor, I was pouring sweat. I mean, I was done. I'm soaking wet with sweat, just getting up out of the floor. He was like, "No, this ain't rheumatoid, but something ain't right. Sit down." So he listened to my heart. He thought I was going into AFib, rushed me to the hospital. Hospital did an EKG. They found out I have what's called an irregular heartbeat, which means it's not always screwed up. That's why doctors never diagnosed it in the past, because they'd hear it and they're like, "Oh, I hear something." But then when they'd come back and listen again, it wasn't there anymore. They're like, "Okay, it sounds normal." So I guess I was just hearing things, or I was hearing an echo. That's what they used to tell me a lot. You know,
it has you thinking, man. Occasionally I feel my heart. I'm like counting the beats per minute.
Is my heart going too fast?
Yeah.
My heart going too slow?
Why does it feel slow now?
Yeah. That makes you think.
It's always a concern, especially when we drink a lot of caffeine throughout the day. I drink a lot of coffee. Sometimes I drink energy drinks. Like right now, I took an energy drink.
Yeah.
And it makes me think a lot about my heart. And so you check, obviously. So we're at the point where they're starting to tell you, diagnose it, that you got irregular heartbeat.
Yep.
And so from that point on, what happened?
So they sent me to a cardiologist, and right now I'm completely blank on his name. I'm not going to lie to you. And I have to go to him every single year, and he's a super good dude, but I'm blank on his name. But anyway, he's over in the hospital parking lot. And yeah, right. I'll blame it on the whiskey, or I'll blame it on being old. You know, I blame everything on
he's
being old.
He's only 40 years old, guys.
So anyway, they sent me to him. He did a procedure where he ran a scope up the main artery in my growing up inside, and then he ran another scope down my throat. I don't know what the procedure's called. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But he did a 3D image of my heart while it was functioning.
Okay.
So he had cameras inside and out watching it function, and he caught a main artery on the back of my heart. Only if my heart drops below 60% in strength, collapses. And when it does, it grew a new vessel that just pumps my blood in a circle. It doesn't go anywhere. So my extremities wasn't getting correct blood flow.
So your heart,
eyes, my brain, hands, arms, feet, legs.
So there's a blood flow problem and blood circulation throughout the body.
Yes, sir.
And so your heart adapted to what it was going through and developed a new vessel.
It just grew a new vessel. It was like, that one's not working, so we'll just grow a new one so the blood can go somewhere. And all it was doing was just going in a circle, just staying
Even
there.
the body's adaptive, man.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
That is crazy.
I told you the only species that has it one over us is the chameleons, man.
I know, right? They can just change color, like, gone.
Yeah. But that's our superpower. The gym is so
sure.
important, man, because you adapt to the pressure, you adapt to the tension.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. If the blood had nowhere to go, what's the heart going to do? Just swell up and blow up?
Yeah.
You know, so it had to do something to be able
Figure it
to
out.
get the blood to move, right? So it just grew a new vessel.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Adapt or die.
that's fact.
That is
I
an
like
amazing
that.
quote.
I like that.
Yeah. I told you we got to get a Bluetooth mic on you, man, because you throw some gems out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did. I went
yeah.
9 years, begging the doctor every year, because he knew what shape I was in right when I
Okay.
came to him. So I begged him every year. I was like, all right, doc, can I go back to the gym yet?
Yeah.
He's like, well, man, I've been telling you, you can go back to the gym, but you can't do this, and you can't go too hard here, and you got to go slow, and you got to. I was like, no, but I mean, can I go back?
Yeah. Like,
Can I just go?
Can I go bench-
be free? You
can
know
I
what I
bench
mean?
225?
Yeah.
Can
Can
I
I go
squat
after?
300?
Yeah. And so finally, November of last year, last week in November, I went to him and I asked him, like I do every year, can I go back? And he said, I tell you what, we'll do a new EKG. You haven't had one in 3 years. If it comes back where you've either stayed the same or gotten better, as long as you haven't gotten worse, then I'll release you. No restrictions. You can go back. And so I went in the first week of December and got my EKG results. They were better. It had actually improved. My situation had. My strength had really was the only situation.
Yeah.
Strength in my heart had went up. And so he said, okay, I'll give you the go ahead. And so the first week of December, I decided to go all in. And so I went 6 weeks of really strict carnivore.
Yes, sir.
Because I wanted to. It's not that I'm a super big believer in carnivore's the only way or keto's the only way. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own fads, their own diets that they want to
think
try and they want to
whatever
do.
works
You know,
for
whatever.
you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good like that,
That's
right?
usually how it goes, man. Whatever diet works for you.
Facts.
Whatever one you can stick to.
Yeah,
So you're not yo-yo dieting.
facts. So I did, and it was the first real strict like that kind of diet I've ever done. Like I've been on a bodybuilding diet, but it's like eat all you can of things you love.
Chicken and rice.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
No, bro, I was steak and rice. Like
Steak and rice.
I'm hardcore steak all the time. Like you know me.
still are.
Like, I talk about it all the time. Like I eat steak like nobody business. Like I eat
Yeah.
steak for every meal, and I'll be happy with it. So that's why carnivore fit me so well. Because carnivore, you have to eat a high protein, high fat diet. You can't eat lean meats. Your body won't function right. No. So what happens is when you teach your body to not use carbs and not use sugar to make energy, what your body revert back to make the energy?
Yeah, the fats.
Reverts back to your fats.
Yes.
What it's intended to do, really. So when your body reverts back, that's why you lose so much weight when you're on carnivore, because your body literally starts burning the fat on your body
Yeah.
to make the energy you need to get through the day.
Yeah.
If you eat lean meat, if you eat a lean diet trying to do carnivore, bro, I did it. I went like 2 days in a row where I just ate grilled chicken.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, man, that night I'm like, I was like groggy. I felt terrible. It's like, this ain't good. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I felt so good since being
didn't
on
have
this
any-
diet. Why am I feeling so bad?
You didn't have any avocados with it?
No, I didn't have any fats.
Okay. No
And
fats
so
at
that's what caught me.
all. Okay.
And so I walked in the kitchen. Literally, I popped a steak in the air fryer. I cut like this much off the end of the steak with the big fat ring because I was actually meal prepping for the weekend.
Yeah.
So I cut like maybe a third of the steak off, probably 3 or
Yeah.
4 ounces of steak with the big fat end on it,
Yeah.
and just ate that real quick. Immediately, I felt better.
Okay. Good.
So anyway,
Yeah. I mean, so basically, if you love meat, like as far okay, pause. If you love steak, if you love steak and
All right.
he said it.
if you love steak, then carnivore diet might be a good option for you.
Right. I did lose 17 pounds in 6 weeks, but I wasn't in. That's the kicker with me. Was I healthier when I walked in here? 6 weeks later,
Yes, you came in very slim, and now we're on a mission to build muscle.
sorta. But look at my first pictures and my progress pictures, right?
Yeah.
I had a gut, man.
Uh-huh.
163 pounds. I had a gut. I'm 5'11" with a gut at 163 pounds. I wasn't in no better shape.
Yeah.
I felt better, and I had lost 17 pounds. For a lot of people, that would be a great thing, right?
Yeah.
But what was my first goal when we talked about it when I got here that day?
Your first goal was to you wanted to lean down, but you also are wanting to build strength and
I
muscle.
wanted to get to 180.
The 180.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
Like, I lost 17 pounds to start to get back the 17
So
pounds I was
you
losing.
focus on the scale. I really don't pay. I pay attention to performance.
I understand.
So I look at your
Yeah.
numbers and everything, and your strength, endurance. So like this last session, man, you pushed through a whole cardio and ab session.
Bro, you pushed my butt off this morning.
but that first day you got here, that bike, we're like, okay, let's calm it
Yeah, I
down.
remember.
And now, so it's getting a little stronger. I see.
It was like, I think it was like, ride the bike for, I forgot, what
5
was
minutes.
it, 80 or
Yeah.
60? He was like, keep it at 60 or
Yeah.
80, whatever the number was. I start pedaling. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can keep it steady. Like, I'm giving it all I got. Like, this is it, man.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's okay, man. Just get what you get. Just get what you get. And now I feel like completely stupid if I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're 4 weeks later.
I'm really thinking about doing a blog series of like personal training sessions with me, because
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of good information being drawn there. I like personal training a lot because I get to know people like you. So like you help me, I help you type
No,
stuff.
for sure.
Because like your stories make an impact on me. Your knowledge, because you've been alive longer than me, so you've been through
There
more
you go,
experience.
calling me old again.
Nah, I'm just saying like experience. Wisdom comes with experience.
No, for sure, for sure. So yesterday, I got a funny story. So it's kind of off the subject, but it's funny anyway, so I'm going to tell you. So 2 or 3 days ago for lunch, I noticed my daughter was at work. She works at Clark's there in Tioga. It's a barbecue place.
Oh yeah.
So I noticed she was there. I was like, I'm going to go eat lunch, see my daughter for lunch. It was just me.
Okay.
So I went in and I'm sitting there eating lunch. And of course, she's hanging out at the table, talking to me for a few minutes.
Yeah.
When she goes to the back to get me something else to drink, I forgot what she went, whatever. She went to the back to do her job. And one of the other girls was like, I felt bad because I thought that guy was like being a creep and keeping you at his table. Because I guess guys go in there and do that. They kind of keep them at their table and they're like hitting on them and
There's
stuff.
some weirdos out there.
So
man.
she was like,
Yeah.
I thought that guy was being a creep and keeping you at his table. She was like, that's my dad. She was like, oh, my bad. No big deal. No big deal. So fast forward to today, I went back in there at lunch today, took my mother-in-law to eat, I take care of my mother-in-law during the day. So I took her up to eat lunch today with my daughter. And that girl was there again. So she's walking by, and of course I had to make the joke. I was like, Lauren, so what was it about me that made you look at me and be like, creep? Like, what do I need to change
Called
to
her
not come
out,
across
called her
as
out,
a creep?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So she just, she starts off, she's like, no, it's just old guys. I was like, oh, okay, so now I'm old and I'm a creep.
Damn, we getting called. Oh, damn.
It was hilarious. Like, it was no big deal. I've got much thicker skin than that. It didn't bother me in the least. But it's fun to be able to give each other a hard time and go
Yeah,
back.
you gotta have a thick skin, man.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. What's the next whiskey we got here?
Bro, you ready?
Yeah. So we already tried this one, and
Let's move up to the Henry McKenna 10-year. So what's awesome about this whiskey?
we'll show it to that camera right there.
Yeah, this is bottle and bond. It's just a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but it has been aged 10 years. It's really good. The hard part with this one, you can't ever find it on the shelf. Like, you got to get super lucky.
Yeah.
So there was a guy in Tioga who used to own the liquor store. His name was Mike. He was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
And he would get this for me.
Mike.
He was so cool, man.
Yeah.
But then he sold it. Like, never had it since, bro.
Well,
Like, I have not found another.
I can understand, man. Probably owning a business in Tioga is tough.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, Pilot Point's small, but Tioga's smaller. Yeah.
I thought Pilot Point was pretty small.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good.
I know I got a little carried away last night. I just want to make sure you taste.
Yeah, hey.
I want to make sure we get the same.
Heavy pour, I'm fine with that. I do got to drive
Make sure
home
we
though.
all get to enjoy.
All right. Okay, this one I do smell sweet.
So
Yeah.
for a while,
More sweeter.
when I first really got into where I was enjoying whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Henry McKenna was one of my first real finds, where I was like, bro, I found something.
Yeah.
Like, my uncle was the one that turned me on to this whiskey. My uncle, he would be much better at this episode than me. Like, he is the whiskey connoisseur. You know what I mean? You go into his house and he's got like this built-in bar that's like probably 3 foot deep and I don't know, 9 foot tall and 4 or 5 foot wide. Like, this thing's huge and it's packed top to bottom all the way to the back, rows and rows and rows of different bourbons and whiskeys.
Organized by age.
He's something else, man. He's got stuff that I'll never dream of owning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's got some of the crazy like Pappy and stuff like that that's insanely priced. Like he's much more into it than me. But he's really helped me to understand the different notes and the different flavors. And
So
This one is not as burny. Like,
it
I
smells
told you
sweet.
we'd get smoother. Now here's what's crazy, right? Let's look at the proof of this one. This is 100 even, so it's just a hair stronger than the 99
Okay.
proof that we just had. So it's not a crazy big step.
It smells
this
good,
is
though.
a little bit stronger and it's smoother.
it's smoother.
I'll put this on.
Explain that, right? This is stronger.
Yeah. I'll put this on as cologne, man.
It
Yeah.
smells good, right?
It's like a sweet, small little kick to it.
Cheers, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys, man, I think I had COVID or something.
I'm not trying to think too much on it.
I taste less alcohol in this one, though.
Yeah, and it's stronger. This has more
And this is
alcohol than the
stronger.
last one. Yes, sir. So this one here was 49%.
Yeah.
This one's 50. So it's not a huge difference.
Yeah.
But technically, it's just a little bit more alcohol.
That small percentage changed the taste.
Yeah.
But it's stronger, and you taste less alcohol.
Yeah. That's that's pretty insane. Kind of has like a. I want to say nut. Just a little bit.
I like the little bit of nuttiness to it.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is I actually get some of the charred oak.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Kinda
wanted to
get
say
the
that.
oaky flavor.
I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to be wrong.
No, that's what it is.
Okay.
So the barrel's charred.
All right.
That it's
a little
stored in.
bit burnt.
Yes.
Like a bit
Yes.
burnt nut.
Yep.
Kinda taste.
That's the
Yeah,
charred.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's see, I love this. See,
Alright,
we're
yeah,
getting
I'm
somewhere.
Yeah, we're moving
We're
along,
getting
moving
somewhere.
along.
That's awesome.
After this episode, we're gonna be professionals, or connoisseurs.
So
Yeah,
this,
we're
at one point, you can see that I've moved it to number 4 today.
Yeah.
At one point, this was like I felt like at the lottery when I found a bottle.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is the greatest whiskey I've ever drank,
Yeah.
and it's like $50.
It's not bad.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this was numero uno for a while, and I have it and the one we're gonna go to next, which is the Knob Creek 12-year.
Now, what is the name of this one again?
This is Henry McKenna 10-year.
Henry McKenna tenure. That's
Yes,
our
sir.
number 4 right now. You want
sir.
to add a number 4? Try to keep up with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got word that hey, look, you can't work out like you used to before.
Yes, sir.
Now you jumped straight to, now we're here in the gym lifting hard.
Yes, sir.
But I want to see. There's a big gap.
Yes, sir.
So
And I
how-
went through some life. I went through some real life between those two.
You didn't have that escape anymore.
No.
Where you come to the gym and you lift heavy weights,
I
you get
lost
all your anger
2
out.
of my 3 best friends in the entire world during that time.
Okay, so you had some loss in the.
My
Was that,
grandfather was one of them.
Okay.
My grandfather was
Yeah, sorry for your loss there.
my world.
Yeah.
It's been going on 6 years
Mhm.
since he passed. But that's the man that taught me how to work. Like I wouldn't know what work is without him.
Okay.
And my dad showed me what work was. My grandpa was kind of the guy that taught me what work was. You know what I'm saying?
What generation is he part of? What is that? Is,
42. He was born in 1942.
is that boomers?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't keep
could
up
be
with all
either.
that. I don't even know what generation I am.
Adrian knows a good amount of it. Is that
I
big?
think, I mean, could be boomer. It could be like, the lost generation maybe.
So
Okay.
my grandpa grew up, and
Yeah.
he was born in 42 in the rough part of Dallas, bro.
Okay.
Like the
Before-
wrong side of the railroad tracks, Dallas, back in the day.
Now, what kind of rough side is it? Is it hood or country?
No, it was hood.
Okay, so hood.
And my great grandfather, as they grew up, so my great grandfather was much older
Yeah.
when my grandpa was born, and he did nighttime walks at at this warehouse facility thing. I honestly don't even remember exactly what it's called, but he had to carry the time clock with him. That was back when you had like the manual time clock that you had to carry around. That was his weapon, bro. Like if you wanted in, you were going through him. My grandpa was a big man.
Yeah.
And if you come at him, he was taking this time clock upside the head.
Oh,
Like, he didn't have no problem. You know what I mean? Like, he was a large man. And my grandpa started filling in shifts for him at a really young age because my great-grandfather he physically couldn't do it anymore. But the family had to have money. So he was doing that. He started working at a grocery store, at a gas station, basically. He was like stocking shelves at night and cleaning and whatever he had to do. Like, if he could make a quarter, I mean, he was taking it home and he earned a quarter. You know what I'm saying? He was putting it towards bills with my grandma and grandpa. Mm-hmm. And so he learned what work was really young. He grew up with a really rough, he had a lisp when he was young, so he struggled with that, so he was kind of made fun of. And then the family didn't have money, like I was saying, they struggled, right? And so my great-grandfather would put taps on his shoes to make them last longer so that he wouldn't have to have a new pair of shoes as fast. So my grandpa would walk down the hallway and it was tap, 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 tap. So it was just like he was tap dancing down the hallway. Okay. So then he'd go to, you know, my grandpa might have been a little bit of a troublemaker growing up, so he'd go to tapping them in class and he'd get in trouble. And so anyway, so my grandpa was a phenomenal person.
He taught you work ethic, and
Absolutely.
then he also taught you courage, it seems like.
Absolutely.
And putting family first.
Absolutely.
And now that transferred down to your dad, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you told me about your dad. Now.
Oh, my dad was, it still is. Let me rephrase that. He is and it was, thank God. No, my dad is, he's a special man. Mm-hmm. So mom and dad divorced. I was 11 years old.
Okay. And
mom moved to the colony and got remarried pretty quick, and we didn't want to leave Aubrey.
Yeah.
Dad was like, then you ain't leaving Aubrey. So he raised all four of us more or less by himself for a long time.
So he was a single dad with 4 kids.
Absolutely.
With any girls or just boys?
One girl.
One girl.
So Dad had enough kids that he finally got his baby girl.
Okay.
There's 3 of us boys and then my little sister.
Usually it's opposite. It's like the guy's having so many girls, like, I just want one boy. So,
no,
Dad, he wanted
Dad
a girl.
wanted the princess, you know. So he kept going until he got one.
A little girl would change your life, man.
Yeah. So I had my girl first.
Yeah.
So my girl's my first, and then my son was a year later. So they're close together, but I did have my girl first, and man, there's easier things about raising a boy than a girl, and there's easier things about raising a girl than a boy. But I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't trade either one of my kids for nothing.
I feel like when you raise a boy, you can be a little more rougher on them.
Yeah, I mean, you can be more stern.
Yeah.
You can treat them.
You know, get a little play fight in there. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. But when they get up in their teenage years, they think they're a man.
Oh, you've been through that because your son's like 20-something.
Yeah, my son will be 20 this year.
So you went through you think you're a man stage.
So he thought he was a man, you know, and so, you know, he's working out. He's playing football, you know what I mean? So he's, you know, so he's working out every day. And, you know, there was moments where he kind of got that ego where he was like, you can't tell me what to do.
Oh, he'll buck up.
You know, he would think about it. You know what I mean? You could see it in his eye, and I'd call him on it.
I've been there.
Like, when you think you can take me, you take me.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
I've been there.
And no, my son, has he been the perfect child? No, I mean, ain't no kid gonna be the perfect child. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up perfect.
Yeah.
I got away with a lot more than he did. I ain't gonna lie. But
yeah.
I ain't trying to pretend to nobody I was perfect. And we went through some rough patches with him. You know what I mean?
I mean,
so I'm telling you right now, he's turned out to be one of the best men I know.
Have y'all? So you guys never actually like got into it?
No.
You see, me and my dad went through the same thing. I was like 14 or something, and I bucked up to him. And then the moment he bucked up back, I was like, I think I'm making a bad decision here.
Yeah. So me and my dad did. Now, me and my dad did. Yeah. Me and my son, thank God, never did. He might have took me. There was a point in time where he got in real good shape, and like I say, I was going through some stuff with my health, so I wasn't in that good shape.
Okay, he might got me.
I was like, man, if he really wanted to, you know. But I told him one day, I was like, you might be big enough to take me, but I promise if you come at me, I'm going to hit you with whatever I can get a hold of. Like, this ain't going to be no clean fight. Like, you just understand that up front, you know what I mean? And so, you know, we made all kinds of jokes, but nothing ever like that happened. No, my dad and I was 18, 19 years old, something like that, still staying at the house.
Yeah.
And we had been drinking one night, you know, because in Texas, as long as your parents there, you're allowed to drink. We follow the law, but we have something to drink. You know what I mean? And so we get back to the house, and there was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even have to go into detail, but there was definitely a misunderstanding.
Okay.
And so long story short, Dad's mad at me. And I've had enough. I'm like, well, you ain't being mad at me. I didn't do nothing.
You're grown at this point. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I didn't do nothing. You ain't taking this out on me. Like you're looking the wrong direction. Yeah. Like you get over it. Mm-hmm. Of course, he's bowing up, and I'm bowing up, and even then, I didn't think for a second I could take my dad. Like that never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But I wasn't fixing to back down either.
Yeah.
Well, he bumped into me.
Okay.
And he didn't really push me. He bumped into me.
Yeah.
But when he did, I stumbled back. And we had an old airborne heater. You know what I mean? The old gas heater in the living room. Well, I stumbled on it. So I jumped back off of it.
Yeah.
But when I did, I found my face nose to nose. We were squared up in the middle of the living room.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty certain, without a doubt in my mind, in fact, that I was fixing to get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
And my stepmom, now my ex-stepmom, but anyway, his wife at the time, came running in the room and caught his arm and drug him back out. He was like, you're being stupid, you're drunk, y'all been drinking, get in here, drug him out of there. So thank God that ended the way it did, because it was not fixing to end that way, and I was probably fixing to get my ass whooped. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie to nobody.
Yeah. The interesting thing though is us guys, man, is we're best friends. We might throw a couple punches, but like we'll go hang out right after.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Even if you did get into it, or we got into it with art, we probably would still be cool right after.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's just showing that if you're watching this and you've been through that, everybody goes through that.
Well, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Because you're turning into a man, so now you're like trying to question authority now.
You think you're somebody. I can make my own decisions. I don't need you to tell me what I can do. Let me show you what I can do.
So, all right. So we're at number 4 now.
Yeah.
And let's see.
About to move up to number 3.
Number 3. I feel like we're on that show, Hot Ones.
Yeah.
So this one's 100 proof as well. So we're not getting any stronger with this one. We're staying across the board here.
Can you pass me I don't think I should. I think I'm going to start sipping before I start drinking all of these.
I did not mean to do that. That's too much.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah, just pour it.
That's what I was going to say. We'll just split it here.
Can you pass me a plastic cup?
Plastic cup?
Yeah. I'm gonna lower my...
Your intake?
Yeah.
You're kind of feeling it?
Well, because I know we got 3 more to go.
Okay.
And I'm like...
I got it right on.
Okay. Oh, man, JT about to get lit today, man.
No, I mean, I didn't go crazy. It was just a sip.
Hey, you living a dream, man. You getting lit at a gym.
I know, right? My 2 favorite things in the world, right? Let me back up. I can't leave my kids and my wife.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I do that all the time, man. I was like, man, I love the gym. And then I'll be like, but God first. I got to make sure I put that in there.
Facts. I told you, man. That meant something to me when I heard you say that on the podcast.
Yeah. So you guys are watching the podcast right now. So JT has actually checked out most of all of our podcasts.
Bro, I watched a bunch of them. I don't know how many, but there's been a bunch of them.
Yeah, when he told me that, and then of course I'm getting to know him. I'm like, you know what? Let's get him on the pod. And he seems like he got some good stories. So, JT, which whiskey is this one here?
This is Knob Creek 12 year.
Let's see. Let's show it to the camera so they know what it is. If our viewers want to get
12 year, 100 proof, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Really good, really hard to find.
Some slight.
That was kind of why I brought these 2. So these 2 here, not only are they good,
yeah,
but people know they're good. And because they're good and they're at a $50 to $60 price range, you can't find them. Like they're either allocated,
yeah,
or you just get super damn lucky to walk in when there's one on the shelf and you buy it, because you ain't gonna find it again.
I'm definitely gonna look out.
Yeah, I'm on the look. Like I told you, I go to the liquor store a lot. I don't buy all the time. I go in there all the time just to look around. I'm just seeing if you got anything special. I need to make sure I get an eye on. You know what I'm saying?
What do you smell this one?
It's definitely a smell there.
Yeah, but it's not as sweet. You notice that?
Yeah,
We're
it's
leaning
not
a
as
little more back to traditional bourbon. This doesn't have near the sweetness of what the Henry McKenna did.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. I don't want to say bitter, but like
A little
it's
more
definitely-
woodsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I lean. Is just a little more woodsy.
I smell alcohol.
Definitely. Yeah, see, that's what I'm not like. because it's definitely bitter. But
This one definitely tastes stronger. It has a longer stay of the taste.
Yeah.
Tastes cool.
It's a little more oily, so it just stays on your tongue a little longer.
It's not a burn though. It's like a cold feeling.
Yeah.
you don't know.
I can't. What do you think, JT?
This one is a tricky one.
Yeah.
I want to say it has that burn wood to it.
It's got a little wood to it.
Yeah.
I actually get a lot of leather out of this.
Leather. Oh, okay, yeah. See.
I get a lot of leather out of this. I guess not Jim Beam straight leather, but it's got a little.
So Jim Beam and Jack are straight leathers.
Jim Beam especially.
What do you think about Jack? What would you say that is? Like compared, because we've been like vanilla, oak, smoke, leather. What do you think Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, like what are they when you
Jack Daniels I hadn't drank enough of to tell you. Like I drink it straight up with something.
What about
I
Crown?
ain't drinking it by itself.
What about Crown? You said you used to be a Crown drinker.
Oh yeah.
So what do you taste when you drink Crown?
I taste getting drunk.
Getting drunk. Yeah.
Like I never.
Yeah.
So back when I drank Crown all the time, right?
Yeah.
I didn't drink to get the flavor. I didn't care what it tastes like.
Yeah.
I'd been through a divorce and I cared about one thing, forgetting about it. If I'm being real, I'm just gonna be real. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like, it was
heartache
straight up.
medication.
Yeah, like it was just how much of this can I get down and how fast can I forget about everything going on behind the closed doors?
You know, whenever I was going through my whatever, every guy goes through heartbreaks. Right?
Oh, man,
every guy
absolutely.
does. But it's how you come back, how you bounce back.
It is.
So, anyways, when I was going through mine, and I started. So there's two routes you can take whenever you're going through a heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
You can either go the alcohol, partying, drinking, whatever route, or you can go the self development route. And you can, and also if you're religious, get stronger in your faith. So you can focus on your knowledge, your mental, your physical, and getting right with your faith. So I went and decided to test the other side. So I went to go get some alcohol.
Oh yeah.
I drank it, and I was at a bar, and I was like, you know what? It made me forget about all my problems. And then right after, when I sobered up, maybe the next day, I was like, problems are still here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has changed. So that's like a
It
temporary.
only feels good while you got it in your system.
Yes.
When it's going, you feel worse.
And when you got it in your system, everything just disappears.
Yep.
Which is why occasionally I like drinking alcohol, not for heartache reasons, but for just to wind back.
Oh man, just to kick the stress.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I recommend anybody who's watching this don't go that route and drink alcohol for that reason. But you know, everybody goes through your phases.
No,
but,
I mean at the end of it, when you go that route, you spend a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
So when I went through that phase, I'm a people pleaser. Like I want everybody around me to be. If I'm having a good time, I want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
Like that was just how it was. So I'd go to the bar, man. I'd leave $450 tabs regularly.
You say round on JT?
Yeah, all of them.
Wow.
Like if my friends was there, like we're drinking, and I don't care if you don't want a shot. I'm buying it, so you're gonna drink it. Like we're gonna have a good night.
Yeah.
Like that was just me, and so I spent a lot of money for no reason. I mean, money that people didn't even want me to spend. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, buy me a drink. It was like, no, I'm buying you a drink.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to, you know what I mean? Because I wanted you with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
This was during that phase.
oh, man, I went through a rough one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so, the gym is actually kind of what, because that was the first time I was like, I cared about something besides me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was, instead of worrying about taking out, forgetting everything, I wanted to fix everything.
Yeah.
And it changed my whole mindset. And so, man, I grinded in the gym. I loved it. And Justin was the guy that kind of steered me in the right direction and helped me understand what the gym was about, because he was already big in the gym. You know? And so that's how me and him got so close. Like, he brought me out of a dark place, man. He knew my ex-wife.
Yeah.
That's actually how I met him. He was actually closer to her age. She was 6 years younger than me, and he was they were about 6 or 7 years younger than me. So they were actually friends. That's how I met him. And then we got really close after the divorce. And man, he really showed me what the gym was about and helped me understand the lifestyle and really helped me understand what we were doing. Yeah. And it created a different mindset for me where I didn't want to forget everything anymore. I wanted to work on everything. How can I fix it? How can I get bigger? How can I get stronger? How can I
Hell yeah.
How can I build me up instead of tear me down or build up walls, whichever way you want to word it? How can I break all the walls? How can I open myself up and build me up?
Yes.
And man, from there forward, game changer.
Yeah. When I walk out, usually when I get here in the morning, I walk out to the gym floor, and I look at the place and I say, this is personal. But I look at the gym and I say, this is a dungeon of improvement.
No, for sure.
When you come in here, you're supposed to leave 1% better.
Oh man. And everybody I see come in, that's what they're here for.
Yeah, this place gets
love
live.
This place.
If you seen when you walked in, the music was bumping, everybody was lifting. It was,
yes, sir.
Yeah, this is like night.
Man, I was bobbing and weaving. Guys out there picking up the big deadlift bar doing deadlift walks out there. I was like, oh, I got to bob and weave here. I'm trying to stay out the way. Like, y'all are hitting it hard.
There's bigger gyms out there, but the difference with this gym is the community.
No, this gym, so the small, like this is an old school muscle gym. That's what I tell everybody.
Yeah.
Like that's when I looked through the door that day. Like this was 7 or 8 months before, and I told you this. This was like 7 or 8 months before I even got released to go back to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always been looking, because the gym I worked out at in Aubrey, it closed down years ago, so I knew I couldn't go back there.
Yeah.
But I wanted that gym.
Yeah.
And so I've looked for it. And we left Buffs one night, and I was like, man, there's a gym down there in the corner, but I've never even looked in there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I just snuck down here and peeked in one night, like, what the heck's going on down there? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know what it is. And that night, I told my wife, like I say, this was early last year. I went back to the truck, got in, and I told my wife, I said, if I ever get released, so I'm checking that gym out. Like, that's what I'm looking for. Like, that's that small town, hole in the wall muscle gym. Like, there ain't 30 treadmills and let's see how. It ain't none of that crap. Like, we're going to lift weights.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was looking for. So I told her that. I said, if I ever get back, man, I'm going to check that gym out. Yeah. And so as soon as I got ready, like I went through my carnivore and all that and felt like I was getting myself right and getting ready for the gym. And then I was like, it's time. And so I started searching. It's like T-Prep. I did. I started straight up. I was Googling and stuff online. I didn't even come up here.
Yeah.
I just started looking online. I'm like, God, how do I hook up to this place? Finally, I found that website, and it was like, okay, how do you schedule an appointment? And man, I scheduled it. I ain't never looked back.
It's crazy how the world works, man. It's just crazy how it is. And now
sure.
you're here on a podcast with us.
Oh, bro.
Drinking whiskey.
Straight up. If you think God don't put the things in your life that you need when you don't expect it, man, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like I saw something, and I was telling you this, I think the other day, but I saw something not too long ago that was like, so when you stop and think about, okay, God saved me from,
yes,
right? You can name this or this or this, he pulled me out of that, or he was there when I needed him here, all these different things, right? But think about how many times did God put something in a way that saved you that you didn't even know he saved you? Like he protected you from something that you didn't even know you needed protecting yet.
Yeah.
Like that'll blow your mind when you really sit back and think about it. It did mine anyway.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow, that it hit me hard.
Yeah.
Like crazy hard.
Let's hold that thought. We're gonna jump right back on that.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna take a small bathroom break, bro. I got
it. You done drank too much whiskey. Shit, I'm going too.
Yeah, I gotta take a small
bath.
Put pause on it. And we are back. I just had to take a small bathroom break. But what's going on?
What?
Did I hear my voice somewhere?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely, you were coming through.
Okay. I was like, damn, what's going on in my throat? But yeah, JT, you were saying, if you want to continue.
Man, I don't even remember where it was.
Oh yeah, it was. Okay, so you said that God will put things in your life.
Oh yeah, for real. So I was telling him off camera just now, even kind of a step further was, in the last month, as he knows because he's been helping me do it, I've really been working on me, and I'm in a big stage of self-development, growth, and learning who I am, more than just the gym. Like the gym is a huge help because I can clear my head, I can rid myself of some demons, I can really get after it. You know what I mean? But it's bigger than that for me right now. Like I'm trying to find things, like look for reasons to be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you believe in happiness?
Bro, I know what happiness is. It took me a lot of years to find it, but I know what happiness is now. Hell
Okay.
yeah, I believe in happiness.
Do you think it's happiness or is it peace?
Both?
Because
I think you have to have peace to find happiness.
I believe that happiness is an emotion, right?
It
Happy,
is.
mad, sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So me thinking, I took my mind out of, okay, stop trying to be happy, try to find peace.
For real.
But I what you're saying, peace, with peace comes happiness.
Facts.
So, sorry to cut you off there.
No. You're good. And I like that. I agree. You are looking for peace.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to find peace in you. And that's what a lot of people struggle with. They're looking for something to make them happy.
Yeah.
And what we got to start looking for is, in order to make me happy, I've got to find peace, like you're saying. And I agree with that. So that's my struggle right now. Like what I've been looking at, I'm quick to anger about nothing. I find myself mad and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm mad at.
Oh, I'm there.
Well, I see you with the
You know
band.
what I mean?
I see you with the band, maybe cussing them out.
Yeah. And I'm mad about nothing. And it's
Yeah.
like, why am I even mad?
Yeah.
And so I started, and that's why I worded, I'm looking for ways to be happy, but it's really finding peace in things that, like looking for a reason to find that.
Yeah.
Instead of saying I'm going to be mad because this cop just pulled me over.
Yeah.
Like that dude's doing his job. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Real talk,
You were
real
the
talk.
dummy speeding down the road, right? Like, but at the same time, kind of like, reverting back to what I said a while ago, the times that God saved you when you don't even know you needed saving. Who's to say you wasn't fixing to have a bad accident and God didn't say, hey man, this guy's going to pull you over to stop you from going down the road and dying?
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I ain't saying that's the case every time, but if I find that peace in my head to say, because there's a chance that's what's happening, I'm going to take it and be tickled about it. I'll pay my ticket, move on, and pay my debt. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It changes your mindset, and it brings you a peace that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
And my wife's a huge help in all this. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be half the man I am today. And I mean that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And it took me 3 to find the right one. Like, I ain't fixing to lie to nobody. I've been through 2 divorces, and they were rough.
Yeah.
But, man, the one I found, like the right one that I wish I'd have found first.
Yeah. An experience, good or bad, is always a lesson.
That's a fact.
You think you would be the man you are today if you didn't go through those other relationships?
I always
No.
say you live and learn.
Facts.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
Facts. Facts. You can always say, I wish that would have happened, and I'm going to always say that.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest. You need to be beat around a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what the bottom is,
You want to appreciate the top.
Yeah.
that's cliche as heck. And I know it is. Like, I knew as it came out, that's kind of why I paused. I was like, I know how cliche what I'm saying is.
Yeah.
But for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cliche for a reason.
Yeah.
I think all cliches are true, but they're just cliche.
I'll tell you something that's super cliche that I've heard many times, and it took me being in the position to understand it.
Yeah.
Until you're at the bottom, or when you're at the bottom, where do you have to look? You ain't got but one place to look.
Yeah.
Up.
Oh man. Yeah, that's
True.
When you're at rock bottom, that's all you can do.
Yeah, you can't go any lower.
Yeah,
So
but
you can just stay there or go
You
up.
got to look up.
Yeah.
So explain this to me. This is getting off subject, and we don't even have to go deep into it. But I want to say this, just period. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So they took Bible out of church, right?
Okay.
So you can't study the Bible at church.
They-
You can't study anything about the Bible at church.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry, not at church, at school. I'm saying the
Okay,
wrong
I was
word.
gonna say, I was like, whoa,
No.
what's going on with
I
Christianity?
apologize. They took the Bible out of school. I said
Yeah.
the wrong thing.
yeah.
Right? So they took it out.
Yes.
And there's good reasons and there's bad reasons and there's the debate and blah, blah, blah. I ain't
Yeah.
going to argue about it. But here's what I find hilarious. The first thing they push you if you go to prison, what's the first thing they'll give you in prison?
The Bible.
The Bible. Why?
And I feel as they know it's gonna make you a better person.
It gives you hope
Okay.
and going to make you a better person.
True.
Why are we not giving that to the kids? We're taking that away. We're not allowing them the hope and the ability to be a better person
Yes.
based on the fact that they ain't old enough to understand it. But
They-
the first thing we're going to give you if you get in trouble is that Bible to give you the same thing that we're taking away and not allowing you to see when you're at that age.
The problem is they don't like to see the numbers. They don't like to see the results. They don't like the facts. So depression's at an all-time high. Anxiety's at an all-time high. Suicide's at an all-time high. You're taking away hope, and that's in the Word of God.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Oh.
I told
There you go, man.
That's just a pour. Can't help it.
I live like 35 minutes away.
I'm trying to be good. I swear to God, I'm trying to be good.
Let's see.
I poured a little bit out, but I ain't gonna lie to you. This one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's been telling me about it. But it's like it's
So
mind.
this is 2XO. It's 104 proof, and to me, it's totally different than anything else we drink.
I smell the sweetness. I smell caramel.
So it smells sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, the smell is pretty sweet.
Oh, you want to show it to the camera just so they know?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is number
2XO. Now the difference in this and all
Yeah,
of those is the price. This is more of the 130 range.
okay. This is
This
number
is a
2.
little more expensive, a little fancy.
Yeah.
And I don't normally have fancy, but Christmas gifts are Christmas gifts, and this thing's good. And I ain't gonna gripe, and I ain't gonna argue with it either.
Yeah.
It's really good, and it's out of Kentucky as well.
Kentucky.
I appreciate the love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cheers, guys.
Tell me what y'all think of that.
All right. Cheers.
Smell.
Oh yeah. That's spicy. Not a burn.
Whoa, what the heck? It doesn't burn that bad. It has like a quick burn, but then it goes smooth instantly.
Have it sit here a minute. Tell me what you start tasting on the back of your tongue.
It's kind of hard to tell because
Get another sip. Let your palate catch it. This is one, unfortunately, both of these last two, I could actually just sit and drink. I don't need to sip these. These are so good, I could just drink them. That's not the plan tonight, nor any time in the near future. But
I don't know the
could.
taste, man. I can't be honest. I'll be honest. My palate is not as good as you guys.
No, you're good. You're good. I told you before we started. It's an acquired thing. Like you're not gonna pick up whiskey the first night, trying to acquire the taste and go, man, I got it.
Man, I'm influenced right now. I'm like, dang, we trying a whole bunch of different type of whiskeys, and I'm thinking about getting a collection of my own.
Bro, to me, it's so fun because I can drink whiskey every night and I can taste something different every single night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, but I could.
it's a different experience.
Yeah.
But as you drink this, like no joke, as you drink this, the notes that you get on the back end of it is straight vanilla, but it tastes like straight bourbon.
Yeah.
So it's a mind boggle because when you drink it, everything on your tongue says, a little bit of leather and a little bit of even chocolatey notes, and it's got a little sweetness to the leather, right? But you don't. It's oaky. It's bourbon.
Yeah, no, it's definitely oaky.
But it's straight vanilla on the back end, and it's so weird to me.
Now you mention it, yeah.
So weird to me how something can taste so different than what you taste after you drink it. It's like,
And it's that type of stuff you can just sip on because you're giving me small. You're giving me small pours.
yes, sir.
And I can sip on this, and
Yes, sir.
I'm getting buzzed. I'm not getting drunk, whatever. But it's a taste. It's all about the taste.
It's definitely a good taste.
Well, here's what's crazy.
Yeah.
So we started and I told y'all this a while ago, I think off camera, but we started at the weakest
That's the strongest.
so far.
Okay.
We got a stronger one. This is 104 proof.
104. Okay.
What we're going to is 113 proof. This is 104 proof. But this don't taste 104 proof. If you told me this is stronger than Crown Royal that burns all the way to my gut, I'd call you a liar if I didn't know better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we process, well, that burns so bad, that's got to be strong.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's because it's terrible whiskey. It ain't because of anything else. It's just because it ain't good.
You got to cut that. You got to cut that because that's an important fact right there.
I'll put it as a short version.
Yeah.
But remember that Woodford Reserve? Gibson brought.
Yeah.
That's what started this, is me and him talking about it.
Yeah, and I had a couple whiskeys, before. And
Man, there's
that
that
is the most like smooth whiskey I ever
Mm-hmm.
had, but this one takes the cake.
I told him that.
Taste the cake.
I told him that night. I said that is a good whiskey.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit overhyped for the price,
Yeah.
but it is good.
It's really good.
I was like, the problem I have with it is for the price, I expect more. And I told him that night, I said, I've got some whiskeys at home I can bring you that I'm telling you they're even better.
Oh yeah. You most definitely did.
And it was no knock on that, because Woodford Reserve is a good bourbon.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, it's a good sipper, but what we just had, I mean, that 2XO's
That's good.
that's crazy good.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this rye that we're about to try, and I'm not even a rye guy. As you can see, it's the only rye I brought.
I've never heard of a rye whiskey.
So the difference is the mash.
Yeah.
So when they make whiskey, most of these are bourbons, which means it's 51% corn, where this one is 51% rye. And then it's got just a little bit of corn in it. I don't want to lie to you. 45% corn and 4% malted barley is what this particular mash bill is. But it's 51% rye. So anything that's over 50% is going to be a rye whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Most whiskeys are corn based.
Mm-hmm.
I have one, and I'm out of it. And I want to throw Iron Root Distillery out there because they're in Sherman, and I'm telling you right now, they're one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I'm out of their bourbon, but they have a corn whiskey called Hubris that's forgot if it's 117 proof or 127 proof, but it's a strong whiskey. Man alive, is that thing good. And they put like 9 different corns in it, and like 6 of them are locally grown.
Yeah.
They had to fly a few in because it was like a purple corn you can't get in America. There was a couple they had to bring in, but most everything that Iron Root does, they do their absolute best to do locally grown. And so even they make a gin. I'm not a gin fan at all. I think it tastes like what's that stuff your grandma used to put in the bathroom when you were a kid?
Potpourri.
That's it. That's exactly what gin reminds me of, bro. Is that potpourri? Like, I've never liked it at all. But their gin, it's a lemongrass gin.
Yeah.
Made with locally sourced lemongrass.
Okay.
And it straight up tastes like it has a lemony, like, flavor to it. Like, it's actually drinkable. I was shocked. I was like, I wouldn't buy a bottle, but I'm not mad that I drank it either.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first gin I've ever had that I wasn't like, wow, that was disgusting. I never want to see it again.
Yeah.
Like, man, I didn't mind sipping that. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
They also make a vodka. And their vodka tastes just like bourbon.
Yeah.
Just doesn't have aftertaste. Because it's made exactly through the same distilling process and finished different. So instead of going into barrels, it's ran through the copper or the stainless steel pipes and straight into vodka. But shockingly, it was really good. And I don't care for vodka because I think it's the sissy girl's drink because it doesn't have flavor and you just mask it with whatever the heck you can find and you get drunk.
Yeah.
So the last one, numero uno, I found this 4 or 5 months ago. It's Smoke Wagon. This particular one is Texas Select. It's a 6-year-old rye whiskey. Smoke Wagon's out of Las Vegas. They are really good. I've also had their single barrel that's super good. But this is their rye.
Yeah.
The store here in Pilot Point had a store pick.
Yeah.
And I tried it and was like, oh my Lord.
It was just
Well, I had a couple bottles of it and they ran out.
okay.
This is Texas Select, which is another rye by the same company. It's a very similar blend of what the store pick was. So it's going to be an extremely close flavor profile.
Okay.
But I think
All right, let's keep it low this time.
I'm not good at that, bro. I'm not good at that. Like, I'll attempt to. I thought I stayed low on yours last time. Did I go crazy?
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I mean, it's the only brand new bottle, man. We gotta break it in. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Gino, yeah, you too.
I haven't drank since November myself, so
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I do fully
since I
understand.
drank.
Yeah.
That good? Did I do better than that?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the last one. Oh, was it the lid?
Yeah, just cool. Yeah,
right behind you. Back. To your. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do. Thanks, sir.
So JT, we got to know a lot about you, man.
Yes, sir.
And it seems like you've done a lot of growing over the years. You've been through a lot of life pain. You know,
A lot of adversity, bro.
You've grown through the pain, and you've grown through the adversity because you went into the dark zones and you made it out.
Yep.
I made this one analogy here with somebody here at the gym, and I was talking about paths that we take, and we can either take the sunshine and rainbow path, where at the end of the rainbow there's nothing, right? But the whole path is easy. And then you got another side over here, and it's dark, it's dirty, it's scary, and you don't know what's at the end of that path.
Yep.
But you take that path,
Yep.
you're going to develop scars, you're going to develop a lot of lessons, you're going to become stronger, you know, a lot better version of yourself. And at the end of that journey, they're going to look at you and they're going to see, people can see the work that you put in to develop the new man that you are.
Yes, sir.
And you earn battle scars.
Makes the grind worth it, though, don't it?
Yeah, but at the end of that route, the end of that path, is actually everything that you wanted.
Yes, sir.
So we learned that you went through all that, and you're
Because
still.
the thing is, if you're given everything,
Yeah.
if you don't have to work for it, it ain't worth nothing.
Yes, very true.
When you have to grind mode, ain't that what you call it?
Grind mode.
You put it in grind mode,
Grind mode,
you know what
grind
I'm saying? And you have to work your tail off, and
Yeah.
you have to get in the dirty spots, and you have to take the hills, and you have to come back down and hit the lows, and you've got to battle to get where you're going.
Yes.
When you get there, bro, you know what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what it's worth. You'll never understand. There's been multiple times in here working out with you where I've had to fight tears off, like straight up. But you know my emotional battle.
Yeah.
Like the other day, he saw me. I was doing this, man. I just kept hitting myself right here.
I was like, "Yo, is your heart okay? What's
Bro,
going on?"
Is your heart good? Is your heart good? I couldn't even get words out. I knew if I spoke, tears was coming, and I was like, I ain't there yet. So I just went like this. I held it up.
Yes, sir. What
He
Bible
knew what I
verse is
meant.
on it?
This here has Philippians 4:13 on it. It's the shield of strength. On the back, it says the verse, which is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's amazing as it is, right? Like, it's the shield of strength. It gives you strength, that you understand that God gives us the ability to do the things that we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He gives us that strength to go through the valleys.
Yeah.
He gives us the strength to stand on top of the hill when we make it up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to give him that credit both. You have to give him the credit when you're there, and you got to give him the credit when you're coming through the rough spot when you knew you couldn't have made it without him. So it's amazing in what it is, right?
Like you fall during the journey and God picks you back up and you continue to
But
go.
for me, it means so much more than that. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And me and you've talked about that. You know, Justin, who I lost.
Yeah.
You know, because we talked about my grandfather, who I lost. But like I said, I lost two of my best friends, and Justin was it. He was my best friend in the world and my gym partner. And I lost him to a motorcycle accident 5 years ago, and he wore this necklace. Not this same one, but this same one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean,
Like not this one, but the identical one.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, he wore it every day, and he didn't leave home without it. And because of that, it always meant something to me. But without being in the gym, I never felt comfortable or right in the head about wearing it. So now that I'm back, I can bring Justin back, and that's the way I feel about it. So when I'm struggling and I'm like, I need this next set, I'm like, come on, baby, you got me. Like, push me, you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
And so that's what that was about.
Yeah.
But let's cheers this a little bit. Let's try this rye whiskey. I want
Yeah.
to hear your thoughts on this little
Last one.
number one rye whiskey. Yes,
Numero
sir.
uno.
Man, that smells so sweet.
definitely has a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
smell to it.
Bro, it almost smells like syrup.
I like it. Yeah, it does smell like
So
syrup.
sweet.
Whoa.
I try to get past the burn when I'm tasting it.
So it's got a little bit on the back of your throat, but do you notice it stops there?
Yeah,
You don't have it here.
It's gone.
Yeah.
You just got a little bit here,
Yeah.
it's gone.
and then it goes. But that is so sweet.
The camera just.
Oh, we're good.
That's all right. You don't need to see me.
All right. Well, the camera just died. But this was our number one whiskey. What was it called?
That right there is Smoke Wagon. Smoke Wagon Rye Whiskey.
I'll show them it real quick.
Yes, sir.
So that was number 1. That was Smoke Wagon Whiskey. We had a great conversation here with JT. Definitely might do a part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like this podcast could have kept going for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like I said, he has an accumulation of a lot of stories.
Man, it's just natural to talk, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can just have legitimate conversation. And I've told you this before. That's why your podcast means so much to me. And I don't know that you even know this. I've told him. The reason this podcast means so much to me is you always turn this a little bit back to God. You give him his right
You want to stick
for doing it. It's okay. It's okay. It can be on you. Like, I don't need to be on camera. My point is, there is a community out there in this world
Yeah.
that feels like outcast. Like, they believe in God. They want to follow Christ. They want to be that person.
Yep.
They don't know how to be because the church pushes them out. They don't want them to be there. I was in that crowd. And I've met multiple people that have been in that crowd that always felt like they were shunned, or, you've got tattoos all over you. You shouldn't be here. You don't dress just right, or whatever. There's always, you're a lesbian. I've ran into that conversation lately, and no offense, obviously I'm not. But the point is, people worry too much about what the church thinks. Because the church is just human too.
Yeah.
So their human thoughts dictate what they think of you when you walk in. It ain't God saying, I don't want you. It ain't the church saying, I don't want you. It's the people in the church being people.
Yes.
And you've got to understand how to grow past that. And a lot of people need somebody that's in the same spot as them. A couple of guys sitting around saying they're, talking from the heart, being real with each other, sipping on a little whiskey and just being who we are. But also willing to say, you're loved.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word.
There's a group that needs that, baby. Like, it's there.
He could be a pastor.
You really
Yeah.
That's the word, man.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the camera died. That would have been a great short. But
Always the camera.
yeah,
Off camera stuff.
the best conversations are the ones that are not recorded.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely.
But thank you guys for tuning in. This was our top. Well, this was JT's top 5 whiskeys. So don't touch that Crown, Jack, Jim. Try one of these out. Think outside the box.
If you can find it.
If you can find it, you got to be lucky to find it. But don't forget to like and subscribe. And you guys have a great night.